The DOGE stuff looks so fun. I'm interested to see how
No.
people could complain about making federal workers tell you what exactly do you do here.
I think they've set the precedent that it's zero what's given at this point, and the people that are complaining about the situation are realizing that just like any other career, and let's talk about the six figures of employees that were fired due to not taking the experimental vaccination, and there is a bunch of people that are now having to face what all of us in the regular workforce have had to face forever. It's called layoffs. If you're not efficient, you face layoffs. And ultimately, we're realizing that a lot of these people, there was redundancies just like any other business. Our country is being run like a business. And in 1 month, the amount of the forward progress and strides we've taken are massive. And there's one thing I have to say. There's a couple of my leftist old acquaintances that I've spoken with on social media that do not agree with the methodology that Elon Musk and Donald Trump are going about it, the way they're going about it right now, but they agree with it. And I'm shocked. There's people that were so far left, and they are literally saying to me, like, it's not the way that I would do it. It's slightly unconstitutional. It's gray area, but I want it done. And I think that speaks volumes to hear it from some of the people that I never thought I could speak to.
Well, Anthony Russo, that we are also seeing some layoffs in the private sector. Over at NBC, they lost Lester Holt. They're ending his career there as the nighttime anchor. And then over on MSNBC, there's a couple of firings there. Most notable, Alex Wagner and Joy Reid are getting the boot. Are they changing their ways, or are they just going to find more effective people to spout the same narrative?
I mean, to be determined. I think they've realized, just like I just said, they want people that are going to be in a position like the people that I just mentioned. They want to see something middle ground. Like even my friends that were very, very pro LGBTQ, they're like, we're done hearing about trans rights. We're done hearing about this far left radical stuff. So I think that they have to realize MSNBC, I don't know where they're going to go with that. I think that Joy Reid just became a joke as part of the problem. But when it comes to like a Lester Holt, who I liked in a lot of different ways, I think that they're realizing they're going to have to backfill with something that actually fits a modern day narrative, which is more of the centrist American to right leaning. If they want to actually have a business, MSNBC doesn't care. They're trying to run themselves out of business, but regular NBC, I think, does.
Well, MSNBC used to have some semblance of balance. Never were they actually balanced, but they at least had a couple of gimme shows, like Tucker Carlson used to do a shift on MSNBC, and they've sort of wiped out any semblance of Team Red from their program. And I was just wondering if you think they would go back to sort of the Tucker Carlson adjacent version of MSNBC.
If they did, I'd be shocked. Partially because I don't know who would take that job for whatever money. I really do think MSNBC is too far gone financially. They're broken. And if you watch, I'll watch CNN, I'll watch Fox, I'll watch all across the board. MSNBC, I can't watch for more than 3 or 4 minutes because it's not even a different perspective. It's just its purpose has been to divide Americans. Anybody that is a MSNBC watcher or fan is probably I'll carefully say this, the lowest common denominator of people involved in politics, to not realize how far and radicalized that station is. So I don't know who would even that actually has credibility that would take a job. And what are they going to pay them? They're going to have to pay them a ton to all of a sudden be the conservative face of MSNBC. And then they don't have a budget to do it anyway. So I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work unless somebody like an Elon Musk buys MSNBC. That'd be the only way, is if it really comes from the top down of somebody having a very conservative leadership to try to bring it to center.
Are we about to see a resolution to the Ukraine war?
I mean, you've seen Zelensky talk about the fact that he's willing to step aside. I think there's a lot of interest in the fact that there's money that is completely gone missing that was supposedly paid to Ukraine. However, he reacted to Trump kind of talking trash about him. So I think there's some confusion of exactly where, because he didn't want to come to the table anymore to this meeting, but he's going to be forced to. I see it happening very soon because there's no way to deny the fact that both nations, Russia and Ukraine, are ready for peace. There's just small fine print that they have to figure out that works. The rare earth minerals deal that Zelensky is going to be he just has to. He's going to be forced to take. I think is going to lean in the direction of a resolution within the next 60 days, hopefully even sooner.
See, I find that one point of optimism with the Ukrainian situation is that, say what you want about Zelensky, he's not a career politician. This isn't what he's wanted to do his whole life. Now that he's in power, I think a big part of him is like, I've made billions, and the longer I stay in power, the more likely I am to go to jail or get assassinated or screw this up. I might as well just take my billions and get the heck out of here. And so I think I have a little bit of optimism that this could be resolved.
I agree. And honestly, I think he made a tactical mistake of throwing the previous administration under the bus, of saying that I'm missing $100 billion. I think that was a tactical mistake, because now all of a sudden the people that were his darling are now going, oh, crap, he threw us under the bus. Let's end this. Let's end his gravy train. Let's get out of this. So now I think, like you just said, I don't think he's got a choice. I think he does need to just go, all right, this is done. Let me move on. I'm incredibly wealthy from probably American money. I need to get out of politics and let Ukraine go to their next leader, which will still be corrupt. Ukraine, we forget, because all of a sudden we decided that they were the darlings of the world, and let's give them all money in 2023, whenever that started, 2022. And in all reality, Ukraine has been one of the most corrupt nations for decades, and it'll probably go back to that at this point. But in the meantime, we need to stop funding their corruption.
All right, Anthony Russo, for the people listening, where do they find you on X?
On X, Truth will set you free, USA.
There you go. Where do you want them to find you? Do you have like a preferred website or?
Well, my Instagram is bumping. Go to Truth will set you free, USA on Instagram, and then if you ever want to take a free speaking class, go to doubledownspeaking.com. Simple as that.
I should learn how to do public speaking. Thank you very much, Anthony Russo. Appreciate
Later,
that,
brother. Take it easy.